Hello? Oh. I'm hiding. Heading to meetings today. Meeting day, obviously, because it's dark. I am interested, intrigued, surprised at how valuable some of these meetings are, even when they seem to have little value. I'm saying meetings, but I'm meeting with a former coworker of mine, and we talk pretty much anything. Usually writing implements, pens and such, and God, and anything else that's going on. Tech, we have some ideas that we kind of kick around. Kind of a iron sharpens iron kind of thing. And then the meeting later on is, I do actually have a kind of a venture going with this guy. He made Black Simulator, which is a game on Steam. I helped him release on Steam. There were all kinds of problems with Steam's, but it's released, and we have other stuff going on. We just kind of talk about this stuff and go back and forth and throw out ideas. I'm a tech guy, he's more of a art guy, so there's more, there's more balance to it. Plus, whatever else is just kind of going on in your life, you can catch up on. There's another guy that I meet with less often, who works does process improvement, so like workflow stuff like that. He would take a line, what would you call it, a manufacturing line, and identify the weaknesses in the line and the points of possible improvement, and then you design a process or a workflow or even a workstation that makes it harder to make those mistakes and easier to do things correctly. So that's like 5S, and Lean, I think, is also applicable. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting talking to him. But we also like homeschool, and there's other stuff that comes up. So it's never like, oh, we're going to have a meeting and let's all sit down and here's the agenda and we've spent enough time on this, now let's move on to that. It's just more, low-key, talking to people who are interesting, have interesting ideas, or are completely different from you, and have different takes on things. So it's good and important to talk about this stuff, because I'm not getting, I'm out of politics now. I literally don't even. So it's good to be able to talk about philosophy and religion, and even just stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, it gets to politics too, but I don't know. The goal seems to be to transcend politics, and the stratification, or balkanization is probably a better term, of what's going on right now, while the dying media tightens its clutches even more. The idea that I had a while back while talking to Peter, my morning meeting, was that companies that sell advertisements, their inventory is eyeballs. They have an inventory of eyeballs that they sell to advertisers. And when their inventory is low, they need more clicks, more views, more eyeballs. Hence, sensationalism sells. Everything's going great does not warrant eyeballs. This is the same thing with the 24-hour news cycle. This constant barrage of information coming in. There's you can't watch a cable news network without seeing You know, there's a ticker on the bottom, there's pop-ups in the side, there's talking heads going back and forth constantly. There's like jump cuts in there, just like reaction shots, and it's all made to be and that's like a reward novelty thing too, to have that stuff happening so rapidly and have you just kind of be overloaded with all this information because it's novel, and that trips your brain's dopamine response to be like, oh, this is good. Oh, I got another one. Oh, that's interesting too. Oh, I'm worried about this. Oh, I should be concerned about that. And it is literally addicting. It is literally addicting. That any constant access to novelty is literally addicting. And what I mean by that is the brain structures that change in people who are addicts of drugs or alcohol change the exact same way in people who are addicts of internet. So the constant novelty at the click of a mouse, their brains change the exact same way. And there's I forget what the chemical was called, but there's a certain chemical that's released when you start basically reducing your response or reducing your reaction to the dopamine release. But it's measurable, and it's something that they found in internet addicts, and I would expect in news junkies, that kind of thing too, because it's, you know, I guess we need a wider definition of what a drug is or what an addict is. So yeah, it's all designed to do that. It's not like, oh well, this is just the way that it turned out and people are abusing it. It's like, no, we're gonna do this, and this is the reaction we want, and we're getting it, so we're gonna keep doing it. Just remember, their inventory is your eyeballs, and they need more stock.